put your home on the market for $310,000.
Not what I wanted to hear.
A little less than we thought.
While they're home.
Homeowners, listen up. When it comes to increasing the value of your house, it pays to listen to the pros. Shows like HGTV's My House is Worth What offer feedback to homeowners on how to get the most when selling. And here now with some insights is Realtor Amy Jurek. We saw you right there on the show, and it's very interesting, Amy. How did you get into this line of work where you combine your real estate expertise with the entertainment shows?
Well, in early 2006, HGTV piloted a new show, My House is Worth What, which was actually great timing based on the corrections that have been made in the market nationwide.
Yeah.
And they were calling around to different brokers, and I heard about it, so I went ahead and applied. You just basically do an audition tape at home, send it in, and they called me about 2 weeks later.
Well, it's great.
Yeah.
I mean, those shows are so hot, I think, because of just the reaction you get from people when, you know, like they weren't too happy, and you get a lot of them that are happy, I'm sure.
Absolutely, but I would say, well, last time I taped the show, probably over 60% of the homeowners are not as happy with the results that they're hearing on these shows lately.
Well, let's talk about that a little bit more, and we're here to talk about how to increase the value of your house.
Correct.
And right now, the market's struggling. I mean, it's a stagnant market, but why is now the best time to really make these improvements?
It's a good time to make the improvements. Buyers are looking for a value in their home. It's important to put dollars into your home to get it sold because there's such a high inventory if you truly are motivated to sell.
And plus, I mean, you know, if you do it now and you're not planning on selling for a year or two until the market turns on, you get to live in a nicer house.
You can enjoy your improvements.
Yeah, well, let's talk about, you got some tips with you.
Correct.
And let's talk about what people can do to really improve the value of your house. And the first thing we're going to talk about is curb appeal. Explain that.
Absolutely. Curb appeal has always been huge, and even more so now as the internet drives the real estate business. People don't really have time to really drive up to your curb. They're looking at it. Sometimes it's right on their computer screen. So you need to make some improvements to really pop the property. Of course, keeping your lawn fertilized, all your trimming up your hedges and your trees, even adding color with perennials and annuals.
Yeah, okay.
And even adding landscape light. It's a simple improvement, but for
Those
any
little
of those,
Malibu lights?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Just for those people that are driving by late in the evening. They can still see your home and get an idea of it in the evening hours.
And a lot of them are solar powered too, so you don't have to do any wiring or anything.
It's easy.
And that sets up the next one too, make exterior improvements.
Yeah.
And what are we talking here?
Well, they're the biggest improvements, roofing, siding, and windows. They're the most expensive, but they're going to give you the biggest return on your investment. So if you're starting to see some expirations, you know, on your roofing and your siding or your windows, I recommend making those improvements way before you put your home on the market.
Okay, everyone spends all their time in the kitchen, so that it makes sense to really trick out the kitchen.
Absolutely. You want to be smart and do it, you know, not overdo it based on your neighborhood. So buyers right now are looking at countertops in a major way. The solid surface countertops are really key.
Okay.
Whether it's the granite, silestone, cambric, or even the cement countertops are huge. And also flooring. Buyers are really looking at the hardwood flooring and how that runs to the kitchen and maybe opens up into a great room.
And you say don't overdo the kitchen. What do people do? What are some of the common mistakes people do to overdo the kitchen?
Well, they'll overdo it with really high-end appliances and very expensive cabinetry, which it looks great and we all fall in love with it, but they might not see dollar for dollar their return.
That's what you got to keep in mind, right? Okay, and then also the bathroom. So kitchens, then bathrooms.
Then you go into the bathroom.
Okay.
First recommendation is always removing any issues of mold or water in a bathroom because that'll make the buyers run. So ridding the bathroom of that. And then improving the flooring, taking out any vinyl, putting in ceramic flooring, or maybe a mosaic or a glass tile is very popular these days too.
Right, and water pressure is so important.
Absolutely.
Take it from me, that's what I'm battling. Freshen your paint and your carpeting.
This goes a long way. Just freshening up, first of all, taking down all wallpaper, which is sometimes hard.
Wallpaper, huh?
Yes, take it down. It's really hard. I think some homeowners have a real love affair with their wallpaper, but the story they're telling is just too hard for a buyer to see through. So I always recommend taking that down and having a professional come in and paint.
And put up paneling, right?
That would be bad too.
So you could throw paneling in there with that freshen the carpet and paint. Get rid of the paneling. Hey, I just went through that too. And then price it right. That's got to be the most important.
Well, it is. It really is. It's challenging for home sellers to understand and even some agents to come up with a good value. But here's the basic rule, is that your market value is based on neighborhood sales in the last 6 months. So take away what you paid for it, what your neighbor sold for a year ago, or even what the new construction is building out in your city. You need to look at what is sold in the last 6 months and compare it to your square footage, your amenities, and I even advise some home sellers to even price slightly below to get those buyers motivated. If they see value, they'll write an offer.
But with that tip, how much does the current market really influence that theory?
Quite a bit.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So maybe hang on to your house a little longer to let the market bounce back a little bit.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for joining us. Great tips.
Thank you.
You bet. For more information on any of the tips we talked about, log on to showcaseminnesota.com and click on the Monday link. Well, next.